You asked for this topic today. Team USA. Highly divisive thoughts on Team USA. An odd roster. It's the FIBA World Cup. So none of the big boys, none of the Olympians that would show up to the Olympics are here. Instead, we have a team whose best player is either Anthony Edwards or Tyrese Halliburton or Jalen Brunson, depending on who you ask.
Brandon Ingram?
I wouldn't throw Ingram in there. Maybe you can. But do you like this team? Are the concerns valid? Because they struggled in the scrimmage the other night, and then they blew them out in the fourth quarter. And there's the whole they lost to the select team thing. Shout out Cade Cunningham, by the way. What do you make of this?
I just think there's way too much. Either I don't know what the phrase is to use, like things are too far apart, feast or famine. Like, no, this team isn't going to cakewalk to a gold medal. Like, that's not going to happen. They might not even cakewalk to the gold medal game. But the overreactions that are happening with this team right now are wild to me. Like, people are acting like it's going to be worse than in 2019. Like, that's not going to happen with this team. It was the first, scrimmage, I guess, against a real team, I would say, that first time playing together in that setting. I think there's strings to be pulled with this team. Like, I think that Kerr can do some things with this team to make it run more efficiently. But at the end of the day, this team does have some talent. They're young guys that I guess will be like prime for breakouts. And in the next coming years, as far as being all-stars and things like that. But I just think that there's just way too many overreactions going with this Team USA team. And the second takeaway I would have from it is that I can't believe Trae Young's not on this team. That's the last thing I'll say about it.
Yeah, doesn't that just come back to like people seem to not like Trae Young?
Yeah, that. And I actually saw an interesting thing on Gilbert Arenas podcast, and he was talking about how it was a shoe company politics thing because Trae Young is Adidas, Nike is obviously the USA sponsor. They got some Jordan players on the team. They got Nike athletes, no Adidas athletes on the team. Now, I don't know if that's an actual theory to be looked into, but it is something that I could definitely, maybe see. But I just hate hearing the narrative like, oh, Trae Young's too little, always too small. Like, Trae Young is one of the best point guards in the NBA. If you aren't taking the top tier level point guards, he should be one of the point guards in consideration.
Yeah, I love Trae Young. He would take Jalen Brunson and every guard on this team's lunch. Also, is it that there's no Adidas players on the team because they took all Nike guys, or is it that there's no Adidas players on the team because Austin Reeves, Bobby Portis, Walker Kessler, Cam Johnson, Josh Hart are on the team? Are those guys Nike guys? Do those guys have anything?
I think they are.
Good God, man. Like, what? I don't even know. Like, those guys are FootJoy guys. Those guys aren't Nike guys. Like, this roster is the weakest I've ever seen associated with Team USA anything. It just is what it is. Like, you can look back on the weird World Cup years where they lost or had issues and it was gross basketball, whatever. Those teams still had like a Hall of Famer there. Like, who's a no-brainer Hall of Famer on this team?
I mean, it's tough to make any of these guys no-brainer Hall of Famers because they're so damn early in their career.
Right. But like, that's my issue. It's like, it's an unserious roster. Like, to me, is stepping back broadly, I think like 20 years from now, if we look back at this roster, I think we're looking at like, okay, Paolo Banchero was on this roster. He's going to be awesome. I think he probably is a Hall of Famer one day. Anthony Edwards should be. Outside of that, I don't think anybody is. I think Jaren's like, maybe he makes an all-star team or two.
Like, he already made one and was Defensive Player of the Year.
Right. I think, did he actually make an all-star team?
Yeah.
I'm fact checking that. I'm shocked by that.
Defensive Player of the Year too.
I knew he was Defensive Player of the Year, but like,
okay, he didn't make an all-star team.
He did?
He didn't.
I think he did. 2023 All-Star.
Oh,
yeah, making his first. You were actually right, and you dropped the ball right at the moment to take your victory lap. But like, that's, I don't know, man. I don't know, and I don't mean to be harsh because like at the end of the day, who cares? It's basketball and it's fun to watch, and it's the FIBA World Cup. Like, I hope they win. I'm not going to be devastated if they don't. But like, if this team played a 7-game series against the Denver Nuggets right now, who wins?
I think Team USA wins.
I think the Nuggets win in 6.
No, I think Team USA wins.
Okay, we'll see. I mean, part of it might just be familiarity. Like, maybe give this team a year to practice together, then maybe they would. But like, I really, it's going to be interesting to see them play Luka because they're playing Luka soon.
They play
And,
Lucas Saturday.
right. If Luka beats this team, what's the panic level for you?
But that Slovenian team's actually good, aren't they?
Are they better than the Denver Nuggets?
They
Like
got, they got Jordan Morgan.
Jordan Morgan's their center, Car. And the
Oh
team's good
no.
now.
Okay, hold on. I'm not even worried about Luca now. God forbid I gotta see Jordan Morgan put Jaren Jackson Jr. in hell. That's gonna make my life all out. That will end the streak of episodes. I'm not recording Monday if that happens.
Yeah, that's all downside for you. There's no upside of
There's
this
no
potential
upside because if
matchup.
Jaren Cooks, Jordan Morgan is did it.
Yeah, we'll
Jaren.
see. I wanted to do a draft, like if we could fix this World Cup roster, who would we draft? And I think we might do that next week. But there's a lot of guys. I think if I'm going up and down, if I could pick 12 guys, and obviously you got to assume they would actually play, but if I could play 12 guys that are under a certain age, under a certain amount of whatever, all-stars, titles, whatever you want to call it, the only guys on this team I would have, I think, are Banchero, Edwards, Halliburton, Ingram, Jaren. I think that's it. And the other 7 are all like, shout out to the Nova guys. That's cute. They're friends. We get it. Like,
Yeah.
is that really what we're doing here? Like,
I mean, yeah, I say the same. Like shit, I would even yeah, like you said, like I would even take like Desmond Bain on this team over. I know you need like the Josh Hart types on the team, but I don't know.
do we? What is? Do we need that? Like, isn't the reason he's on this team he's friends with Jalen Brunson?
He's just like a vibes guy. Like you know
Okay.
how like Theo Pinson stays in the league. Like not saying like Theo Pinson's like the same level as Josh Hart. Like Josh Hart's just an all-time vibes guy, and you do need vibes guys in the locker room.
We got a few too many vibes guys on this team. That's all I'm saying. Like Bobby Portis is on his team. He better bring some great vibes, some fantastic vibes, my friend. Okay. So we're on the opposite sides on Team USA. I'm worried about it, but I don't care that I'm worried about it. You're not worried about it. Do you care? Or do you care either way?
I have a USA future that they win this.
Okay. So you do care.
Yeah.
Maybe I should place a future. That might get me to care on this. I'll hit you up offline at the end of the recording and we can figure that out.